If you're visiting London for a few days, it's very likely that the Harry Potter studio tour is right at the top of your bucket list.
We've been there ourselves, and there are quite a few tricks and tiny details you only realize once you are physically in the studio. And honestly, this can completely change how your entire day turns out.
That is why in this video, we are sharing the 11 worst mistakes you need to avoid so you can have the absolute best experience. Starting with one that could save you a serious amount of money.
To some people, this may be a surprise, but the Harry Potter studio isn't actually in London. It's in Watford, about 20 miles northwest of the city. This means you have to figure out how to get there.
The first option is taking the train. While it's slightly cheaper, it requires more planning and navigating through different modes of transport to finally reach the studio, which can feel a bit chaotic if you're new to the city. If you want to make your life easier and start your visiting experience the moment you leave central London, we highly recommend doing what we did. Booking a studio ticket that includes return transport from London on an official Harry Potter themed bus.
These transport bundles are advertised right on the official studio website. But if you try to book them there, the site simply redirects you to a partner platform where you have to pay the full price. Instead, you can get the exact same theme bus and ticket package for cheaper. Just download the free Get Your Guide app using the link we've left in the description.
On the app, you can choose a central London pickup point that suits you best, like Victoria, Marble Arch, or Marylebone. But here is the trick. When you head to checkout, use our exclusive code KARMAADVENTURES5 to get the tickets 5% cheaper.
While 5% off one ticket may not seem like a massive saving, most people visit in families or groups, so those savings add up fast. It's an incredibly easy way to pocket some extra cash that you can then spend on a Butterbeer later.
A lot of first-time visitors get this wrong before they even arrive. They buy their tickets expecting roller coasters, simulator rides, and a bustling theme park atmosphere like Universal Studios or Disneyland. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of fun and absolutely worth visiting, but that's not what this is.
The Warner Bros. Studio is a walking tour through the actual historical stages where the 8 films were shot. You are getting up close and personal with the real sets, props, costumes, and the real behind-the-scenes magic. For Harry Potter fans, this is heaven. And even for people who haven't really watched the films, which was actually my case, you will still have an incredible time appreciating the craftsmanship and the scale of production.
There is a lot to see, and the best part is that there are plenty of interactive features throughout the tour. If you decide to skip the themed bus option and take the train from London Euston instead, you will need to arrive at Watford Junction station. We see this happen all the time. Tourists step off the platform, panic about how to get to the studio, and immediately jump into the taxi queue or order an expensive Uber. Please do not do this. You will easily waste £15 to £20 for absolutely no reason.
Right outside the station's main entrance, there is a dedicated bus stop for the official Harry Potter Studio shuttle. It is completely free for valid ticket holders, runs every 20 to 30 minutes, and you don't need to pre-book a space. You simply show the driver your booking confirmation, hop on, and you'll arrive to the front gates in about 15 minutes.
If you've already visited the Harry Potter studios once in the past, you might think there's no reason to ever go back. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The studio changes their themes and feature sets throughout the year to match the seasons. For example, during autumn, they run the eerie dark arts feature where the Great Hall ceilings is decorated with over 100 floating pumpkins.
During the winter months, they transition to Hogwarts in the snow, where many of the iconic sets, including the breathtaking Hogwarts castle, are covered in artificial snow. And these are just a few of the changes.
So because of these seasonal changes, you can still visit at different times of the year and have a completely fresh, magical experience.
Let's be honest, a day in the studio isn't cheap. Once you factor in your tickets, travel, a souvenir or two, your wallet is definitely feeling the pinch.
Where most people accidentally overspend is on food inside. And let's be real, the food inside isn't always the best quality or value. What very few people actually know is that the studio has a very friendly food policy. You are allowed to bring your own food and drinks.
The only rule is that you must consume your own food in the backlot cafe or the courtyard area, which is roughly halfway through the tour.
If you want to keep costs down, this is a very easy way to do it. If you are an international visitor, you may not be familiar with the best places to grab snacks. But don't worry, because supermarkets like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, or Marks & Spencer are great places to stop by before you travel to stock up on some sandwiches, drinks, and snacks.
When you first step into the main lobby, you'll likely be distracted by the giant Ukrainian iron belly dragon hanging from the ceiling. Most people get so caught up looking up that they walk straight to the souvenir shop or to the queue to enter the studio. Do not make this mistake. Make sure to stop at the main information desk or the main hall next to the cast handprints to pick up your free activity passport.
This is an incredibly fun physical booklet, especially if you're traveling with kids, because it's an activity that will keep you busy throughout. Inside it, you'll find clues, trivia, and dedicated pages to collect stamps hidden at various stations throughout the tour. A little insider tip: there are always multiple stamping stations at each designated spot. So if you see a massive queue at the first stamp station, just keep walking past it. There is almost always a second identical stamping station just a few steps away.
As soon as you enter the lobby, you will see the entrance to the massive main studio shop. It is incredibly tempting to run straight in and buy your wands, house robes, or sweaters before the tour begins. While we definitely recommend picking up a scarf or a tie early if you want to wear it for photos during the tour, we definitely suggest leaving the rest of your souvenir shopping until the very end.
Here's why. If you buy heavy books, mags, or delicate collectibles early, you'll be stuck carrying those bulky shopping bags for the next 4 hours. And honestly, there's no rush. The entire tour is a one-way loop that conveniently ends with you right back into the exact same gift shop just before the exit. So you will have plenty of time to shop comfortably on your way out.
By the way, if you are carrying heavy jackets, umbrellas, or extra bags that you don't want to drag around, make use of the free cloakroom located right in the main lobby. It will make your walking experience so much more comfortable.
If you happen to be visiting the studios on your birthday, do not keep it to yourself. We actually didn't know this ourselves until we accidentally overheard a staff member mentioning it to another family. But if you head to the main reception desk and let them know you are celebrating your birthday, they will happily hand you a free birthday badge to wear.
The real magic, however, happens just a few minutes later at the entrance of the Great Hall. Before starting the tour, the staff member will ask the crowd if anyone is celebrating a birthday. If you raise your hand, they will invite you to step right up front the entire group and physically push open the chamber doors to reveal the Great Hall for the very first time.
It's a genuinely unforgettable moment. As you make your way through the tour, you will come across staff-led shows and many interactive sections. Our favorite were the shows where they explain how certain scenes were filmed using green screen and the photo sets.
By this, we mean the sections that have a phone stand, which was great because it was only the two of us. So we just put the phone on the stand with a timer and the pictures turned out really fun.
Also, depending on the season, you can even build your own prop, like a personalized howler, and take it home for free with you. Because the studios feels a lot like a museum, it's natural to assume that the entire tour is strictly look but don't touch.
However, if you keep your eyes peeled as you walk along the railings, you will occasionally spot small unmarked buttons and motion sensors. If you press them, you will trigger a physical effect right in front of your eyes, such as making a self-washing frying pan scrub itself in the Weasley's kitchen.
It's a brilliant small detail that makes exploring the set so much more rewarding if you know what to look for. Halfway through the tour, you will reach the Backlot Cafe, the perfect spot to try some Butterbeer. If you opt to buy your Butterbeer in the souvenir tankard, you get to keep the cup as a wonderful souvenir.
However, once you finish the drink, the cup gets incredibly sticky, and many tourists end up throwing it away or awkwardly wrapping it in dirty napkins because they don't want to get the backpacks ruined.
I just love how the Harry Potter studio has thought about everything, because there are 2 sections in the cafe area, one inside and one outside, dedicated to cleaning your Butterbeer cup. Just grab a few tissues from the toilet afterwards and you have a clean cup you can now put away and take home.
If you have any questions at all about planning your London trip, drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to check out all the helpful resources and booking links in the description.
Thanks for watching, and for more videos about London, click one of the videos on screen.